Hello! In this video we are going to see how we can open up our terminal emulator program, which will give us access to the shell, and hence we will be able to execute the commands that we are going to learn throughout this course. And we are going to see how we can open up the terminal on 3 different Linux distributions. So here we have Ubuntu, Unity. So if you want to open up your terminal on Ubuntu, all you need to do is just go on the top left hand corner of your screen, which to the dash icon here. This is called the dash icon, which have the Ubuntu logo on it. And if you click on it and you just type terminal, this should bring up your terminal and you're good to go. And here is your terminal. If you want to make sure you opened up the right thing, all you need to do is just type date and with all lowercase, and you just hit enter, and this should show you the current date. Okay. Also on Ubuntu by default there is a shortcut that you can use to open up your terminal, which is Ctrl-Alt-T. So if you use the shortcut Ctrl-Alt-T, this should bring up your terminal on Ubuntu. And again, it will show you the date if you type date. Okay, so that's for Ubuntu. Now we would see how we can do the same thing using Fedora. So here I'm using Fedora, the GNOME version. So if you want to open up your terminal on Fedora, all you need to do is just go to the activities on the top left hand corner, and if you type here terminal, this should bring it up, and then you just click on it, and here you have it. And if you want to make sure you opened up the right thing, all you need to do is just type date, lowercase letters, hit enter, and this should show you the current date. Awesome. Now we would see how we can open up the terminal on OpenSUSE, the KDE version. I'm using the KDE version here, which is almost like a Windows system. Okay, so if you want to open up the terminal on OpenSUSE, all you need to do is just go to the Start menu here, or the main menu on the bottom left corner of your screen, and this you should see it right away here. But even if you don't see it, you can go to the terminal, and you would see the name maybe like a console here. Just open up the console, they are the same thing, and here you will have it. And if you want to make sure, you just type date, and this should show you the current time and date. Or you can go to the main menu and you just select applications and then system, and then here you have your terminal. So yeah, okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. Now you know how to open up your terminal, and now you're ready to learn some cool Linux commands. See you in the next video. Ciao! Hi! Today we are going to learn few simple commands. And the first command we are going to learn is the date command. So if you go ahead and type date and you hit enter, this will display the current time and date. So at the time of recording this video, the date was Friday, January the 2nd, 2015, and the time was 2:06 a.m. So the commands are case sensitive, which means that if you type date with an uppercase D, it will tell you command not found. But this is not a big problem when learning the Linux command line, because actually all the commands that you are going to learn are composed of lowercase letters. So you just have to remember that all the commands are composed of lowercase letters. Okay, so another command which is related to the date command is the cal command. And cal stands for calendar. And by default, the cal command will display the calendar of the current month. So if you type cal and you hit enter, this will display the calendar of the current month, which for me is January 2015. If you want to display the calendar of the whole current year, you'll just say cal space -y, and this will display the calendar of the whole year 2015. You can also specify a year. For example, if you want to display the calendar of the year 1990, you'll just say cal space 1990, and this will display the calendar of the whole year 1990. Also, if you want, for example, to display the calendar of January 1995, you'll just say cal space 1 space 1995. 1 here represents January, because January is the first month of the year. So as you can see, this will display the calendar of January 1995. You can also use cal space -3 to display the calendar of 3 months, which is the previous months, the current months, and the upcoming months. So cal -3 will display the calendar of 3 months, the previous, the current, and the upcoming. Okay, so as you notice, the terminal gets filled up very quickly with commands and output. And if you want to clear up your terminal, you can use the clear command. So if you type clear and you hit enter, this will clear up your terminal, which is very nice. And you'll actually see yourself using the clear command more often, or quite often. Okay, so the last command that we are going to learn in this video is the exit command. And the exit command will simply exit the terminal session. So if you type exit and you hit enter, this will close up your terminal session. And again, I have to stress that the commands are case sensitive. So if you type exit with an uppercase E, it will tell you command not found. So in this video, we learned 4 commands. The first one was the date command, which displays the current time and date. The second one was the cal command, which stands for calendar, and which by default displays the calendar of the current month. We also learned the clear command, which will clear up your terminal. And the last command we learned was the exit command, which simply exit the terminal session. Okay, so that's it. Not very familiar with the Linux command line, and this might be the first time you actually open up the terminal and start typing commands. So I will often use the graphical user interface to help you guys visualize some of the concepts and make you feel more comfortable. So here I have the graphical file manager, and here I have the root directory represented by the /. So you may remember from the last video that here you can find some common subdirectories. We talked about the opt directory, which we say you will find commercial software products that are not installed by default on your system. So I installed Google Chrome and Google Earth. So if I go here, I will actually find Google Chrome and Google Earth installed underneath my opt directory. Also, we talked about the bin directory, and we said that you can find common programs and commands that can be used by all the users on the system. And here you can see the date command, which we learned before. Also, we talked about the var directory, and we know that there are mail spools and log files in this directory. As you can see here are the log files, and any file that ends with .log is a log file. We also talked about the temp directory, and here is the temp directory, and here you can find some temporary files that are often changed over time. Okay, we also know about the home directory, where you have all the users. So each user is assigned a directory underneath the home directory. Here we have 3 users, and here is me, Kabari. So underneath my home directory, I can have anything I want to store. So I can have like a music directory, I can have downloads. Here is my desktop. As you can see, my desktop, I have directory 1, and underneath directory 1 I have 2 directories. directory 2, and underneath directory 2 I have directory 3, and I have other text files, as you can see. Okay, so as you can see, it's very easy to navigate the file system using the graphical file manager. However, now we are going to learn how to do the same thing and how to navigate our Linux file system using the command line. So the first command that we are going to learn is the pwd command. So pwd stands for print working directory. So this command will simply print or display the absolute path name of your current working directory. When I say working directory, it is the same as saying current working directory. So if you type pwd, this will display here the absolute path name of my home directory. Okay, so you might be wondering why my current working directory right now is the home directory. Simply because when you first log into your terminal, or I mean when you first log into your system, your current directory is automatically set to be your home directory. So that's why if you go to your terminal right now and you say pwd, it should display the absolute path name of your current working directory, which is the home directory by default. Okay, so the second command is ls. ls stands for list, and ls simply lists a directory content. For example, right now I am in the home directory, right? So if I type ls, this will list all the directories and files I can find underneath my home directory, and I can verify that using the graphical file manager. So if I go here to my home directory, as you can see, I have the same kind of directories found here. So I have desktop, music, public, VMware. Here I have also desktop, music, public, and VMware. So ls simply lists a directory contents, which is very, very useful. So another command we're going to learn is the cd command. cd stands for change directory. So as you can see right now, I'm stuck in my home directory, right? So if I want, for example, to go to my desktop, all I want to say is cd and my desktop. And right now, if I say pwd, this will display the absolute path name of my desktop. Okay, if I go back to my home, I can also go to my desktop directory using the absolute path name. So if I say cd and I used the absolute path name of my desktop, this will work. Or I can use the relative path name, which is cd /desktop, as you remember from the last video. But we also said that you can omit the // so that's why cd desktop will also work. So if I say just cd desktop, I am also in the desktop directory. Okay, so there are many options that we can use with the cd command. The first option that is very useful is the cd space /. So as you know that a / represents the root directory. So if you say cd space /, this will take you directly to your root, to the root directory. So if you go cd space / and you hit enter, as you can see right now, I am in the root directory. Another common option that you can use with the cd is cd space ~. This will take you directly to your home directory. So if I say cd space * and you hit enter, this will take me to the home directory, as you can see. So you know, like, you can use pwd command when you don't know where you are in the Linux file system. So pwd command is very useful when you are lost in the directory tree and you want to know where you are. Also, we will discuss more about the ls command in a later video, because there are so many options that you can use with the ls command, but now we will just focus on the cd command. So we said that you can use cd space / to take you to the root directory, and as you can see here, I have the bin directory, I have the home, I have the opt, I have the temp, I have the var underneath my root directory, and I can use the cd space * to take me directly to my home directory. So here I have my home directory contents. Okay, another common option that you can use with the cd command is the cd and 2 dots. So you may remember that 2 dots represent the parent directory. So for example, let's go to directory 1. So I'll just go to directory 1. No, first I have to go to the desktop, and I have to go to directory 1, and I want to go to directory 2, and I also want to go to directory 3. And if I say a pwd, this will print the absolute path name of directory 3. So let's see, if I go to directory 1, I have directory 2, I have directory 3. So right now I am here. So if I say ls, as you can see, here is text 3. As you can see, I have text 3 here. Okay, so what if I want to go back to directory 2? All I want to do is I say cd space 2 dots, and here I am in directory 2. And if I say ls, as you can see, I have directory 3 and text 2. So cd 2 dots will take you to the parent directory. So it will take you one step backwards in the directory tree. Okay, so you can imagine if you say cd 2 dots again, this will take you back to directory 1. And here you go. We are in directory 1. So right now we are here, directory 1. So as you can see, we were in directory 3, and we say cd 2 dots, we went back, one step backwards. And if we say cd 2 dots again, we will go one step backwards, and so on. So you can imagine if we just type cd 2 dots again and again and again, we will eventually go back to our root directory, right? As you can see, we go back to the root directory by typing cd 2 dots a lot, because the root directory is the common parent of all directories. So eventually, if you type cd 2 dots many times, you will eventually go back to your root directory. Okay, so one more very useful option that you can use with the cd command is the cd space dash. So the cd space dash will take you to the previous working directory. So what do I mean by the previous working directory? For example, right now I am in the root directory, right? So right now I am in the root directory. If I went to the home directory by the cd space tilde, now I can go back to the root with saying cd space dash. Why is that? That's because I was in the root directory before I went to the home directory. So cd space dash will simply take you to the previous directory that you were in. Let me do this one more time. So for example, let's say we are in the directory 3, right? Let's go to directory 3. So first I want to know where I am. So now I am in the home in the root directory. So if I go to home, then to my username, then to desktop, then to directory 1, then cd directory 3 or directory 2, and then now I am in directory 3, right? Okay, so right now I can go to the root directory if I just say cd space / and here you go, we went directly to the root directory. Okay, here is my question to you. Do I need to write all the absolute path name of directory 3 to go back to directory 3? Yeah, you can do that, but this will be very tedious and long. Instead, you can use the cd space dash. So cd space dash will take me back to directory 3. That's because this was my previous working directory. So let's see. Now I'm in the root directory. But if I say cd space dash, here I am back again to the directory 3. And so cd space dash is very, very useful command, and it will save you a lot of typing. As you can see, if I am in directory 3 and I went back to the root, I don't have to type the absolute path name of directory 3 again. This will be very long and tedious. Instead, I can use the cd space dash to take me back to my previous directory. Okay, so one last thing I want to mention. Remember that we said that one dot represents the current directory. So one can imagine if you say cd space 1 dot, this will not do anything, because cd 1 dot space 1 dot, what it will do is that it will change your current directory to the current directory. So it actually doesn't do anything, because 1 dot refers to the current directory, right? So if you change your current directory to the current directory, you are not doing anything. You are just staying at the same place. So it's useless to say cd space dot. But we said that cd 2 dots will make you go back to your parent directory, and eventually, if you do cd 2 dots many times, you'll go back to your root directory. So, okay, so now let's do a revision of what we did in this video. First, we learned the pwd command. So pwd command stands for print working directory, and it simply prints the absolute path name of your current working directory. We also learned ls, which lists the content directory. Also, we learned the cd command, which you can use the absolute path name with, or you can use the relative path name. So now I want to go to desktop 3, I can use the absolute path name. Desktop, directory 1, directory 2, directory 3. And here you go. Now I am in directory 3. We also learned some options that you can use with the cd. We learned the cd space / that will take you back to the root directory. We learned cd space tilde that will take you to the home directory. We learned cd 2 dots that will take you one step backwards, like the parent directory. We also learned cd space dash, which will take you to the previous directory, and this will save you a lot of typing. Okay, so that's it for this video, but I have to stress that I highly encourage you to take your time practicing these commands, the pwd, ls, and the cd. So just take your time, like practicing these commands before going further and learning other commands, because all from next video we are going to use these commands quite intensively. So I highly recommend you to spend at least one day playing with these kind of commands before moving on. So this is a key lecture. You have to understand everything in this lecture before going on. One more thing I want to say, that you may have noticed that all the commands are easy to remember because they are actually an abbreviation of what they do. So pwd stands for print working directory. Working directory. And cd stands for change directory. And ls stands for list. So as you can see, it's not a hard thing to remember the commands in Linux, because they are usually an abbreviation of what they do. So for example, if you know that you want to change your directory, you'll just remember that you use cd, because cd stands for change directory. Okay, so that's it for this video. Ciao. Hi, in this video we are going to see how we can use our ls command in a very similar way like we used our cd command. So remember, right now I'm in my home directory by default, and if I do an ls command, this will display the contents of my home directory, and we can verify that using the graphical file manager. So here is my home directory, and as you can see, here are the same files that you see right here. Okay, so we said that the / represents our root directory, and so if you did ls space /, this will display the contents of your root directory. And also we said that the tilde represents the home directory, and so if you said ls space tilde, this will also display your contents or the contents of your home directory. We can also use the 2 dots, which represents the parent directory. So for example, let's go to our desktop here. Now let's go to the desktop, yeah, and let's go to directory 1. Let's change to directory 1. If I do an ls, I will have like 2 files here, namely directory 2 and dogs, and we can verify that. Yeah, right here in my directory 1 I have 2 files, directory 2, which is this one, and dogs, which is the text file. Okay, so right now if I do a pwd, which is print working directory, I can see my absolute path name. I am currently at directory 1. However, if I do an ls space 2 dots, this will display the contents of my parent directory, which is my desktop in this case. And so as you can see, we can use the 2 dots, we can use the /, we can use the tilde, exactly like we did with the cd command. However though, we cannot use ls space dash by itself. It will tell you no such file or directory, and so you might be tempted to use ls space dash to list the contents of your previous directory. Remember, the cd space dash will take you to your previous working directory, but the dash does not work with the ls command this way. Okay, so just be careful of that. Also, you can actually list the contents of a file by using its absolute path name. So for example, let's go back to the root directory. Right now in my root, right? What if I want to display the contents of my desktop? I can use the absolute path name. So I can say home Caberi desktop. And right now, yeah, as you can see, I used the absolute path name, and it displayed the contents of my desktop. You can also use the relative path name. So if I go to my home directory, now I can say ls space dot / desktop. And as we said, dot / you can omit dot /, right? So this will display the contents of my desktop, but this time I used the relative path name instead of the absolute path name. And so, however, as we said before, if you did not include the dot /, this will give you the same result. So it's your option. You can choose which one do you prefer. Do you want to include the dot /, or do you want to include it, or if you don't want to include it, it's fine. They will both produce the same results. I think if you don't include it, it will save you some typing, And so in the Linux world, we usually strive for shortcuts and stuff like that. So basically, I never include the // when I use the relative path name. Okay, so in this video we know that we learned that we can use the ls command with the tilde, with the /, with the two dots, and we said that we can use it with an absolute path name, and we can also use the relative path name. So that's it for this video. Ciao. We're going to learn how to create hard and soft links. But before we do that, we have to know two options that come with the ls command. So here I'll just change directory to my desktop. And okay. So the first thing that we need to learn is how to show the inode numbers of the files. So here I have two files, right? Namely directory 1 and original. Original is just a text file that contains random text. Okay. So if I want to show the inode numbers of these two files, all I need to do is just say ls -i. And this will show you the inode numbers of the files in your current directory. If I want to show the inode numbers of my files in my root directory, I just need to say ls -i and /, because / represent the root directory. And here is the all the inode numbers of the root directory. Okay. So another thing that we need to know is how to show the file size. So if you type ls -l, this will show you a lot of information about the files. However, I'm only interested in this column right now. I will show you what is this command all about next video or in the later video, but here I'm only interested in this column. You see here? So here it will show you the file size in bytes. So if I go here and say properties, yeah, this is the file size in bytes. See this number here is the same number like here. Okay, so now we know how to show the inode numbers and how to see the and how to show the file size. Okay, what if I want to create a hard link for this text file? All I need to do is just say ln. Ln stands for link, and then I will have to specify the original file name, which in this case is called original, and here I have to specify my hard link name. I'll just call it hard link 1. And as you can see, hard link 1 is created. I will also create another hard link. I will call it hard link 2. And here I have another hard link. So remember what we said about hard links is that they have the same exact inode number as the original file. So let's check that. If I go ahead and type ls -i, this will show the inode numbers. And as you can see, this inode number of the original file is the exact same inode number for hard link 1 and hard link 2. They are exactly the same. We also said that hard links have the exact same file size like the original file, and we can also check that if we say ls -l, and this will tell you, you see, the exact same file size. We also said one more important thing. So here, if you open hard link 1, it will show you the exact same content as the original file. Here is the original, here is the hard link 1, and here is hard link 2. They all have the exact content, you see? Exact copy. Okay. We said that if you delete the original file, the hard link will not be affected by any means. And so let's see that. If I delete the original file, so here is, as you can see, if I do ls, I don't have original file anymore. However, if I open hard link 1, it will open just like normal, you know. So hard link 1 and hard link 2 are not affected by any means by deleting the original file. Okay, so let's try. So right now I will make another, or let's call this. I'll just rename hard link 1 to be called original, and here I'll just rename hard link 1 to be hard link 2 to be hard link 1. Okay, so what if I want to create a soft link? All I need to do is just say ln space -s, and then like before I will specify my original file name, and here I will specify my soft link name. I'll call it soft link 1, and I will do another soft link. I will call it soft link 2. So here I add space -s. So if you want to create a hard link, you don't need to specify this one, space -s, as you can see here, hard link. But if you want to create a soft link, you have to say ln space -s. -s, which stands for soft link. The S here stands for soft link. So remember what we said about soft links? First of all, they have different inode numbers. So let's check that. If I go here and type ls space -i, so as you can see here, this inode number is different than this inode number. You see, here is 190 and here is 219. And also this inode number is different than all of these inode numbers. So even soft links have different inode numbers. So this one is different than this one, which in turn is different than this one. However, this hard link has the exact same inode number like the original one. So here is the first difference between soft links and hard links. Another thing we said about soft links is that they have smaller file size than the original file. So if you go ahead and say ls-l, as you can see, they have significantly smaller file size. Here's only 8 bytes compared to 89,873. You see here, it's only 8 bytes. Each of these soft links have only 8 bytes compared to the hard link, which has the exact same file size. And also, as you can see here, they also have like a different color. And you see here, it's like this arrow is like, it shows you that they point to the original file. Okay, so if I open soft link 1, it will contain the same data as the original file, like you would expect. However, here is what is very important. Remember, we said that if you deleted the original file, the soft link will become useless. So right now I have soft link 2 and soft link 1. They open like normal, and they all have the same content like the original file. However, if I deleted the original file, I cannot even open soft link 1. You see? I cannot even open any soft link. So they became useless, or they become useless. So as you can see here, you see even the color changed. And if I see ls-l, you see this color is different than this color. They become red. So, however, the hard link is the same. It's not affected by any means. So that is what is different between hard links and soft links. Okay, I will tell you one more information. That is, you can create soft links for directories. So if you go here and say ln-s directory 1, and then I'll create a soft link, call it soft dir. This will this is a soft link for directory 1. However, if I try to create a hard link, this will not allow. So hard links are not allowed for directories. If I try to make a hard directory, it will tell you hard link not allowed for directories. So you just have to remember that you can create soft links for directories. However, you cannot create hard links for directories. The reason for that is that if you are allowed to create hard links for directories, there can be like ambiguity, right? You see, like if you have, for example, two names for the root directory, if you have two names for your log directory, this will not have very good results. So that's why hard links are not allowed. They used to be allowed actually in the past, but they created lots of problems. So that's why hard links now are not allowed. So you can only create soft links for directories. So that's it for this video. And in the next video, I will talk about all the command options that you can use with the ls command. Until then, ciao. Hello. In this video, we are going to see how we can create a directory loop using a soft link. So what do I mean by a directory loop? So right here on my desktop, I have a directory named named A, as you can see. And inside of A, I have a subdirectory named B. And inside of B, I have nothing at all. So right now, I want to create a soft link inside of B. I will call it maybe C, right? And this soft link C here will point to directory A. So if I go to A, then I'll go to B, then I will have a soft link that takes me back to A, B, C, and B, C, and that's it, and etc., right? So how can I achieve that? Right now I can go in my terminal, and I'm in my home directory, as you can see, so I can switch to my desktop, and then I have A, I'll switch to it, and then I have B, and I'll switch to it. Right now I don't have anything in B, as you can see. So how can I create a soft link? I'll just say ln space -s. As we know, -s is for creating soft links, and as you may remember from last video, we are not allowed to create hard links. Okay, here I have to specify my original file name, or the target. So I want to create a soft link for directory A, right? So I have to specify the path for directory A now. So I have three options. Either I can use the absolute path name, which is home Kabari desktop A. So this will be the absolute path name, and then my new, or the soft link name here, I will just call it C. So this is one option I can use, but I'm not using it. Instead, I may use the relative path name, which is way shorter. I can use the tilde, which represents my home directory, and then I can say desktop A. So this is another option, but I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use the easiest option, which is 2 dots. You know why? Because right now I'm in B, right? And the parent directory of B is A. So it is valid that I can use the 2 dots, which represents the parent directory of B, which is A, and then I want to create a soft link C that points to A, and that's it. So this is the most optimal way you can write the command. And I'll just type enter now to execute the command. So that's it. If you go to A and if you go to B, you will have a soft link C, which goes back to A, as you can see, and you have B, C, go back, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, C. As you can see here, the loop, you see? It's an infinite loop. And I can also show this on my terminal. So right now I have A, right? Inside of A I have B, so I go to B. Inside of B I have a link which is C. If I go to it, it will take me back to A, and then I'll go to B, then I go to C, then I go to B, C, B, C. You see? Infinite loop. I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, I just thought it'll be fun if you have one application to learn for soft links, which is creating a loop. And as you can see now, that's why it's dangerous to create a hard link, because you can create a loop using hard links which will break the file system structure. As you can see now, we don't have a tree-like structure. We have like, you see that you have a parent which points to a directory, and this directory points to the parent itself. So we don't have a tree-like structure. We broke the structure using links. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next video. Ciao. Hello. In this video we are going to see some different command options that comes with the ls command, but I highly suggest that you first see the PDF file that is associated with this video before actually viewing this video. Okay, so we already know two different options that comes with the ls command. The first one that we did is the ls-i. Right now I'm in my desktop, right? So if I do ls-i, this will show me the inode number of my directory 1 here, dir1. Okay, and also we saw the long listing, which is ls-l. Okay, at this point of time we will not be able to understand everything in the long listing. So for example, the first letter here, D, signals that this is a directory, not a file. So if I have another file here, I would call it, for example, blah blah, and then I say ls-l, this will not, you see, the blah blah here will not have the D, because blah blah is not a file. It's not a directory, it's just a normal file, and here dir1 is a directory. So the first letter here is for the type of the file, whether it's a directory or not a directory or a link, etc. Other than that, all these letters are for the permissions set for this file, and we will talk about permissions in a later video. These are the number of hard links. This is the owner of the file. This is the group assigned to this file, and this is the file size. This is the modification date or the creation date of the file, and here is the file name itself. Okay, I'll just delete this one for now. Okay. Okay, so that's we already know before. So we already know ls-i and -l. What else can we know? Right now, when you just do normal ls on my desktop, I just see directory 1 here. But if I did ls-a, I will see other things, like I will see this dot and these two dots here, and I will also see these two files. They are called .hidden1 and .hidden2. So what are those files doing here? First of all, I think you remember what is dot and what is two dots. Do you remember this? I guess you do, because we discussed them in the Linux file system video. One dot represents the current directory and two dots represents the parent directory, and we already mentioned that these are two special directories that are present underneath any or every single directory in our Linux file system. These two files here, I made them myself, so they are hidden file. But why are they hidden and not shown here in my graphical user interface? I'll tell you the reason. The reason that they are hidden is that they begin with one dot. If any file begins with a dot, then it is a hidden file. So let's see an example of that. If I go here and say, for example, I'll create a file, I'll call it .hidden3, right? Oh, it didn't work. Okay, let's do it again. Rename .hidden3. Okay, right now I have it here, right? But I just want to refresh here, so I will just press F5, and here it's gone now. Okay, I didn't delete it. So if I do ls, I don't see it, but if I do ls-a, I will see it here, .hidden3. So this is how you can create a hidden file, and I will show you how to create files using the command line in a later video. But for now, you just want to know that ls-a will show all the files, including hidden files. And A here stands for all, meaning all the files, including hidden files. Okay, so this is one great option that you can use with the Linux or with the ls command. And let's go to the root directory and do an ls. As you can see, here I do here is the directories that are present underneath the root directory. And if I want to see all the hidden files, include all the hidden files in my root directory, I'll just say ls-a. As you see, I will see the current directory, the parent directory, and you see this one, .configuration file. It was not present when we did just ls. So if we did ls-a underneath our root directory, we will see more files. Okay, so that's good for the ls-a command. Let's go back to my desktop. Okay, so the other command option that we will see is -t, or the T option. But let me first create two folders. The first one is A and the second one is B. Okay, so right now if I do an ls, as you can see, I say the ls just shows A, B, directory 1. And actually the order here is not random, it sorts them by alphabetical order. This is why I have A first, here I have B, and here I have directory 1. So there is an alphabetical order here. What if I want to view the files sorted by time, viewing the most recent first? I will just say ls space -t. The -t options will list all the files in your current directory, but it will be sorted by modification date or creation date, with the most recent first. You remember, directory 1 was the first directory I have here. Then I created A, then I created directory B. So when I do ls-t, it will first show me the newest, or the most recent directory that was created or modified, B, then A, then directory 1. This is what I have here, B, A, and directory 1. So -t option is a very also useful command, which sorts, or it lists the file based on the modification or creation date. Okay, so that's good for the -t option. Another option that is related to the -t option is called the ls-r. So what does -r means? It is reverse. Here T stands for time and R here stands for reverse. So let's do -r and see what happens. -r, it lists directory 1 first, BA. Do you know why does it list this? It lists the file in this order? Okay, -r doesn't have to do with time. It only lists the directories or the files in a reverse order compared to the normal listing. So here, when I just do ls, I have A, B, directory 1 sorted alphabetically this way. If I do ls-r, then it will be the other way around. So it will be directory 1 BA, directory 1 BA. So don't confuse yourself. Some people think that -r sorts them by modification date or time, but no, it does not. It only reverses the order of the normal ls option. Maybe like this is alphabetical order, this is the other way around. Okay, so -r is just reversing the order of the normal ls. Okay, so that's good for the R option. Now we come to the very, very powerful option that we can use with the ls command. This one is the ls-r. But before we explain what is ls-r, I first want to show you something here. So, in my desktop I have directory 1, right? And inside directory 1 I have two files, directory 2 and file 1. And inside directory 2 I have two files, directory 3 and file 2. And inside directory 3 I have just one file, which is file 3. So we already know that if I just do an ls directory 1, this will list the contents of directory 1, which is basically directory 2 and file 1. But here is my question for you. What if I want to list all the files underneath directory 1? So here I have directory 1, right? But I don't just want to list these two files. I want to list all the files underneath directory 1, including any files inside the subdirectories. You know what I mean? So I don't just want to list directory 2 and file 1, but I also want to list these two and what's inside directory 3 and what's inside directory 2, sorry, and then what's inside directory 3. So I want to list all the files underneath this given directory. All I need to do is just say ls-r, r capital here, you see? This is case sensitive, so this r is different than this r. So if I said this will show me all the files, it will list all the files including underneath the directory 1, including any files or any subdirectories. So for example, what I did here is that inside directory 1 I have two files, which is directory 2 and file 1. And inside directory 2 I have two files, which is directory 3 and file 2. And inside directory 3 I have file 3. So what is -r here means? R here is a recursive. Do you remember, like from programming, if you are familiar with programming, you know what is a recursive function is? It's basically when a function calls itself. This is what happens here, like more or less. So here I go inside directory 1 and I list everything here. Then when I find a directory, I go inside and then I list everything here. And then when I find another directory, I go inside and then I list everything inside. So it keeps listing until it cannot find any other directories. Okay? So if I go to my root directory and I do ls-r, do you understand what will happen here? Every file will be listed, or all the files in my system will be listed, because underneath the root directory I have all the given files and directories. So if I just type enter, but excluding the hidden files, of course. So if I go ahead and execute this command, this will keep listing all the files that I have in my file system. And this will take a lot of time, so I will just kill this process by pressing Ctrl C together. Ctrl C will kill this process. Okay. So that's for the -r option or -R option, the recursive option, which is very important. So what about like combining the command options? What do I mean by that? So let's go back to my desktop. Just to clear. Okay. So right now I have these three files, right? A, B, and directory 1. So what if I want to make a long listing and show the inode number? So a long listing will not show me the inode number. I just want to combine the two command options. It is very easy. If you want to show the inode number and to do a long listing, if you want to do the two of them together, you can just combine the commands options like the following. You can just type ls-i space -l, and this will show you the long listing and then the inode number, and they are concatenated together. They are together here. Notice that the order does not matter, so you can say ls-l-i, and this will show you the same result. Awesome. So this is one command. So that's how you can combine the command options. Also, this is one way, right? But there is also another way. So if you don't want to use two dashes, you can just use one dash. So li and il will do the same thing. So it's up to you if you want to combine the options using this way, or if you want to combine the options using this way. I personally like this way because I don't like to write like two dashes, but sometimes this is more clear what you're trying to do, so it depends on you, like if you want to do it this way or you want to do it this way. You can also for example here, if you want to view all the files, so this will be hidden files, and I want to do a long listing, and I also want to show the inode number. So you see, this will show you all the files because I have the A option here, and this will also make a long listing. It will also show you the inode number, and the order doesn't matter, so I have LIA will do the same thing, and maybe ls-a-i-l will do also the same thing. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'll make a clear here. And then one more thing. -r, the -r option is very useful when you want to sort the files by modification date, but not the recent first. What if you want to show the oldest first? So remember, if you do ls a, just ls -t, this will show you the oldest first, which is b, a, and then directory 1. But if you say ls-tr, this will reverse the output of the -t option. So when you put r as long with the t, like besides the t option, this will reverse the output of the t option. And what is the output of the t option give you? It just gives you the files sorted by modification date with the most recent first. So if you reverse that, this will show you the all the files sorted by modification date, but it will show you the oldest first, which is directory 1 in this case. So as you can see, ls-t, you can combine L with T. So as you can see, this one was the old. So here's -L with T. T will give you the most recent first, which is true, B, A, and then directory 1. But if you do ls-ltr, it will show you first directory 1, A, and then B. Also, a cool option that you can use is later. So ls-later, this will show you a long listing of all all the files sorted by modification date, and also it will use the recursive option. So if you go to your CD, if you go to your root directory and you want to show a long listing of all the files sorted by modification date, and of course if you want to view all the files in your system, you have to use the R option because you are in the root directory now. This will show you a long listing, and I'll just type, or I'll just press Ctrl C to exit this process. So as you can see, there are many options that you can use with the ls commands, but these are the most famous or the most important ones, and I really suggest that you take time practicing all these options and you get a feel for it, especially for the recursive option. And I highly suggest that you read the PDF file that is associated with this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Ciao. Hello. In this video we are going to learn how we can use the touch command to accomplish two things. So the first thing that we're going to learn is how we can update the timestamp of our files. And when we say the timestamp, we are referring to the access times or the modification times of our files. And also we will learn how to create new empty files using the touch command. Okay, so here on our desktop I have two files, which is directory 1 and old file. So right now I'm in my home directory, so if I do a cd to desktop, and then I'll do a long listing, and then you remember from like we already discussed that this here is the timestamp of the file directory 1, and also here is the timestamp of my file old file. Okay, so what if I want to change this time to the current time? So that's an old file, right? It was last accessed or modified June 14th. So right now at the time of the recording it's August 9 and it's 5:47 p.m. So if I want to change this time here to the current time, all I need to do is just type touch and specify the file name, which is old file, and then I will do a long listing, and as you can see it changed the time here from June 14. 11:27 to August 9, 5:47, which is the current time. Awesome. And you can also do the same thing for directory 1. So this is fairly new directory. I created like 15 minutes ago basically. So if I want to change the hour here or the clock from 15:34 to 15:47 or 15:48 now, all I need to do is just say touch dir 1 and I'm good to go. If I do a long listing, here it changed the clock from 17:34 to 17:48. So this is how you can change the timestamp of a file. So let's go, for example, to our home directory. So if I go back and I do a long listing of my home directory, I would see, for example, that this file here, examples.desktop, is pretty old. It was last accessed or modified June 6th, right? And if you remember from the ls command options video, if you do an ls-t, so let's do ls-tl, as you can see, because we said we sorted the files by the most recent first, so examples.desktop was the oldest. This is why it came the last file in our listing. However, if you said touch examples.desktop, then if you do an ls-tl again, as you can see, it brings up the files to the first row, because now it is the most recent file, because we modified the timestamp of the file. So this is how you can benefit from the touch command. Also, you can change the timestamp of more than one file at once. So for example, here I can change the timestamp of my VMware, which is August 1st, and I can also change the directory templates, which from 1657 to 1749. All I need to do is just specify the file names of the files I need to change the timestamp for, and I just separate them by a space. So this command here will change the timestamp of VMware, which is August 1st, and it will also change the timestamp of templates, which is 1657 to the current time. Let's see, and then you do it ls-l, and as you can see, it changed VMware from August 1st to August 9, 1750, and it changed the timestamp of templates from 1657 August 9 till 1750, which is the current time or the current clock, August 9 as well. Okay, so that's one way you can use the touch command, and as you can see, it's very beneficial when you sort your listing by time. Okay, let's go back to my desktop. So yeah, and let's do a long listing. Okay, so what happened if you said touch and then you specified a file which does not exist? So clearly file 1 is not here, right? So if I just execute touch file 1, this will simply create a new empty file named file 1. So this is basically it. If you specified a file here which does not exist on your current directory, then it will just create this file, but it will be empty. And also notice that it only creates normal files. It will not create directories. And you can also specify more than file at once. So you can create more than one file by using the space. Just separate them by a space. So for example, let's say new file 1, new file 2, new file 3. And this will create 3 files here: new file 1, new file 2, new file 3. Yeah. So this is how you can use the touch command. You can use it to change the timestamp if the file already exists, or you can use it to create new empty files. I hope you enjoyed this video. Ciao.